Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is Rahul, and welcome to episode 5 of the Bug Bounty series. This episode is going to be a bit special because we're going to talk about a vulnerability that is a bit complex but easy to implement. And at the same time, we're going to discuss it with the help of examples. We're going to talk about certain case studies taken from the Hackerone reports. Now, let's begin. Now, the topic that we'll be touching is called crlf injection, also known as request response splitting or HTTP splitting attack. Now, with that, let us begin. Now, before we touch upon any subject, there are some prerequisites that we need to know, and these are the three things that we need to first know. Then we'll be talking about the vulnerability. Now, the first of all, we'll be talking about the full form of crlf, why web servers use it, and the URL encoded form of CR and LF, which you will be needing to perform this attack. Now, what is crlf? Now, there are two words in a single word. The first is CR and the second is LF. CR stands for carriage return, which is represented by \R, and LF stands for line feed, which is represented by /n. Now, you might have seen this in regular expressions. Now, /R means in whichever line you are, whatever you do, in whichever line you are, you just have to move to the first index of the line. So, for example, I am right over here in the full stop. Now, if I put a /R here, I'll go back to U. So, I'll be in the first index. Now, if I type in /n, which means I'll be in the next line. So, this is the meaning of both of these words. Now, we can actually trick a web server into performing malicious attacks with the help of crlf injection. Now, be with me, guys, because we're going to talk about this in detail. But before that, why do we use crlf? Now, there are a couple of headers. Whenever you send a web request to a web server, some headers go, and if it is a post request, the body as well as the body goes. Now, is there any way in which a server can distinguish between the headers and the body and between two respective headers? Then, guys, crlf was the answer. So what crlf does is it helps a web server to understand when new HTTP header begins and another one ends, and used to separate the end of the last header from the beginning of the body. So, for example, let us just consider this case. So, I was on Web Security Academy, and this is the web server request that I sent to the web server. Now, as you can see, this is a common GET request, so you will not have a body. Now, is there any way in which a header can distinguish between, a web server can distinguish between when the host header ends and the cookie header starts? Well, there is. So if you click on /n right over here, what will happen is you'll see /r/n. So this is whenever a server encounters a /r/n, it will treat it as a separate entity. So this is how a web server distinguishes between two respective headers, or a header and a body. So this is not shown to you by default on Burp Suite, but you can click on \n and it will show to you, but this always goes. Now, before we perform the attack, you need to know that if you want to write \r, you'll have to type in %0d, and if you want to type in /n, you'll have to type in %0a, and if you want to perform a crlf injection, you'll have to type in %0d and %0a. This is the URL encoded form, guys. Now, let us study about this. So, what happens in a crlf injection vulnerability? That an attacker inserts both the carriage return and the line feed characters into the user input to trick the server. Now, this is a screenshot of an actual vulnerability found by a bug bounty hunter, because of which he was awarded a good bounty. Now, before we move on to this, I'll show you how I performed this attack. Now, this is from the Web Security Academy. Now, as you can see, I am looking for look I found. So this is what I am looking for. This is my request, and what does the server returns me? The server returns me the response. But the special thing about this is, whatever I am typing in here, it is a part of the headers, guys. As you can see, this is a part of the header. Now, if there is no filtering or validation applied in the backend, what I did here was, what I can do here is I can type in a malicious payload. I'll be telling you what this means. And as you can see, I have typed in look I found followed by my malicious payload. And as you can see in the response, there is another cookie by the name of hacked. Now this is a vulnerability, because what you can do is you can perform session hijacking. You can even perform web cache poisoning with the help of this attack. And because of this, guys, Twitter awarded a bug bounty hunter $3,500. Now let us understand the malicious payload. Now, as you just studied that percentile 0D and percentile 0A stands for /r/n, which will take it to a next line. So whatever I typed in right over here after look I found, as you can see, I have typed in percentile 0D, percentile 0A. So it will take the rest of the statement, which is set cookie, to the next line. So as you can see, it has taken this part of the sentence, this part of my request to the next line, followed by set cookie. As you can see, it is set cookie. Percentile 20, it is for space, and hacked percentile 0D is for equal to, and then hacked. So as you can see, I have set another cookie by the name of hacked, just to show you how this attack works. Now as you can see, this is similar. Percentile 0D, percentile 0A, as we just studied, which is /r/n. Location is equal to http www.evilzone.com. So what this is doing is, this will set another header by the name of location, and what location does is it tells the browser to move to a different website altogether. So as you can see, this is the website that the user will be tricked into going. So here, as you can see, this is the report that I have taken from Hackerone. I'll be linking this in the description of the video. It is a similar attack, percentile 0D, my header is equal to new header, and as you can see, it is being shown in the response as well, my header is equal to new header. Similarly, this was done in Twitter as well, though it was obfuscated a bit, but as you can see, it says set cookie percentile 20 test, and as you can see in the response, it was shown set cookie test. So this you can report to the concerned authorities if you find this. There are a lot more variants of this. You can perform different types, because what I showed you was of get type. There is another that you can perform in post. So thank you guys, this is it for the video. I hope this brought some value into your lives. Please make sure that you click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.